It's 6:45, and tonight we do not have any citizens' comments. However, we do have a very, very special event that we're so glad that all of you could attend. Tonight, we will be retiring one of our police officers. And at this time, I would like to introduce Cash Cowell and his owner, Conrad Cowell. Hey, Cash. Hey, Cash. Hey, Cash. How are you? Cash has been an honored member of this police force for 8.5 years. We're saddened that it's time for him to retire, but we felt it to be a great honor for all of us to be here and show him how much we appreciate everything that he and his owner Conrad have done for this city. So if you will, City of Laverne Certificate of Appreciation is hereby granted to Cash for your dedication and hard work for the City of Laverne as a canine officer for the police department. The city hereby congratulates you and your retirement and thanks you for your 8.5 years, that's 47 dog years, of service to our community. We wish you many happy years of herding goats for Detective Cowell. Thank you so much. Now we also have some other very special presentations. Now I'm going to allow our police chief, if he would, come up. He has some presentations.
I do. Now, we already had our private time over at the PD in the training room, and Cash actually is wearing his retired officer's ID card. And the only thing it doesn't cover, for those of you who know, Leosa, he can't go packing because Leosa doesn't apply to him because he's a canine. But we have two things to give Cash. Take home, Conrad, so that you can put on the wall and frame, if you like. One of them is Chief's Award of Excellence, and that's one of the things, Cash, that we started doing a few months ago. And it's when somebody does something that's a little bit above and beyond. But the Chief's Award of Excellence is presented to K9 Cash Call in recognition of your service to the citizens of the City of Laverne and the men and women of the Laverne Police Department. I proudly present this Chief's Award of Excellence. Your professional service with honor, respect, and integrity is second to none. And it's signed. And then we have the other thing, which is special to us, and it's an honorable retirement certificate and presented to K9 Cash Call in recognition of your 8.5 years or 47 in doggy years of professional service to the City of Laverne Police Department. I grant you honorable retirement on this, the 6th day of December in the year of our Lord, 2011. Thank you, Cash.
Thank you, Steve. We're not done. Now I would like to present to you our state representative, Mike Sparks.
Well, I too had a resolution from the state of Tennessee. My sister's on her way now. She got tied up at Walmart of all places. She was having a photo made.
There she is.
There she is.
Here she is. She's good.
Yeah, we were just out here Thursday with Secretary of State Trey Harper. Appreciate all Lori's work, and appreciate the good work that this officer has. I think appreciate Lori's effort with riding out there.
He keeps Lori busy. I have to admit to that.
Well, she was just coming from all the way to the county last night. I think he brought us 80 miles on the
Have you got that?
I'd rather close my eyes out than go to Walmart.
This is pretty long resolution. I'm gonna save y'all the challenge of me having to read through all this. But I'm just glad to be here, and this is basically from the state of Tennessee. Speaker Beth Harwell, Representative Mike Sparks proclaimed in Nashville, Tennessee on this 6th day of December 2001. And just I'm glad to present this, and wish the canine well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. You want to present that to him? Now, this doesn't mean that you can't bring him up for a visit from time to time and let him roam around and tell everybody hello. And at this time, we do have a brief reception, and we would love to invite all of you to come back and have some cake and punch and wish Cash well. Thank y'all all for coming. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. 7:10, and I'm going to begin the December 6, 2011 regular meeting of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming out and wishing Cash well. That was a wonderful time, and I want to thank everybody involved for that. At this time, if you will all please stand, and we'll have prayer by Alderman Waldron.
We pray tonight in the name of your Son, Jesus. We thank you for the freedom that we all enjoy. We pray for our men and women that is serving our country and guide us to continue to keep this city strong for our neighbors of this great city. We pray for Mrs. Smith to keep improving and get better, get stronger and well. We pray to keep us all safe in this holiday season. In love of God, amen.
Amen. Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I need a motion to approve the minutes for the November 1st, 2011 public hearing and regular meeting.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor? Aye. Now we'll move on to our department reports. Fire.
2011, we had a total of 68 calls. Consisted of 5 structure fires, 15 fire alarms, 2 vehicle fires, 2 hazardous materials calls, 19 motor vehicle accidents, 7 medical calls, 13 emergency miscellaneous calls, and 5 non-emergency miscellaneous calls. Average response time for November 2011 was 2.8 minutes, and the total water consumption was 300 gallons.
Very good.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you, Mayor and Alderman. The report that you can see up there and that you have a copy of contains the information I discussed with you Thursday night. We don't believe that some of this is correct because we simply have the issues with the CAD and the records management system, and We discussed that in great detail the other night, and will more later, so I won't rehash any of that. But you can see the information there. It's pretty well held true compared to last year. Some of our index crimes are down slightly from last year through November, and we expect that to hopefully continue throughout the holiday season. We're actually working very hard, and the women and men of the Vergne Police Department are doing an excellent job of solving some crimes and putting some people in jail. The only problem is we can't keep them there. Many times by the time we get the paperwork done and back to Laverne, they're back before we are, so that's part of the problem. One of the things that I did want to discuss with you, though, I sent an email today. I discussed it in the director's meeting yesterday and then sent an email today to department heads and all the members of the police department. There's a group called Concerns of Police Survivors, or COPS, and those are family members and co-workers of law enforcement officers who have died in the line of duty. And back in 1988, there was a lady in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, whose son-in-law was killed in the line of duty, and she sent COPS a notice that she was putting 2 blue lights in a window in her home during the holiday season, during the Christmas season. And it was in honor of her son-in-law who had given his life in the line of duty as a law enforcement officer, and her daughter, who was his widow, had been killed in a crash, so she added one there, a second light. But we're asking people to put 1 blue light in their windows to remember those who serve on a regular basis in our community and around the country, and also those who have given their lives in the line of duty, and they've paid that ultimate sacrifice. So 1 blue light is what we're asking for this Christmas season. It's just 1 little blue bulb and a candlestick in a window is all it takes, and that doesn't cost very much, thank goodness. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, Chief. Rescue?
First, I want to say Merry Christmas. We had a total of 103 calls totally, 0 medical, 22 motor vehicle accidents, 0 water-related, 0 fire, 0 search, 60 standbys, 2 business meetings, 1 training session, 13 public relations. Something that we did do during Thanksgiving is we assisted with baskets with the Laverne First United Methodist Church, giving out to 53 different families. We also have people that go out and serve with Meals on Wheels, so that's just more that the rescue squad's involved in. So total miles was 2,496. Man hours was 1,529. Any questions?
Next ham breakfast?
This Saturday, 6 to 10.
So,
Hope to have a big crowd.
remember that.
That's right.
Any questions?
Thank you.
All right, we will not, you do have a report from the codes tonight. I'm going to tell you, we sent Kyle home. He was sick, and none of us wanted to be around him, so. Jeff, Parks and Rec.
Good evening, Mayor, Aldermen. We had a great November. We did a veterans ceremony out front here on Veterans Day, and we had guessed that we'd have maybe 40 or 50 people. We pushed about 200 people out here, and it was just amazing, and I appreciate all the support that we got from our employees and from you at this table. We also had a seniors luncheon at the multipurpose building, recognizing all of our seniors for Thanksgiving. That was a great day, too. And then you probably talk about it some later, but the parade on Saturday was just amazing. It's what Laverne needed. I can't say enough about all the support I got from department heads, employees, people on the receiving end of it, the push package, getting it out, all the people on Murfreesboro Road. It was just goosebumps, and I'm so proud of everybody. I'm proud of Laverne for the turnout that we had Saturday. Coming up here next Friday at Brookside Park, Hurricane Creek Greenway, we're going to do a ribbon cutting at 2 o'clock. December the 16th is Friday. That's our section of Greenway out there that we've been working on. If you haven't been out there, it is absolutely beautiful. It's small, it's only 1,400 linear feet, but it is amazing, and it's a starting point, and we'll build from there. And I'm just so proud to be part of this department, part of this city tonight, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Questions?
Any questions? And I will say, I want to just drop this note. After the parade, of course, we all visited the local establishments, and one of the owners actually made the comment that every time we've had a parade or the 4th of July, their businesses have been packed to capacity. So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing to add in there as well. So it was a good time, and the business really did enjoy it as well.
Thank you, Mayor.
Finance?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Aldermen. Tonight's report represents year-to-date through October. For the general fund, expenses have exceeded revenues by approximately $1.6 million. Local sales tax, we've collected approximately $1.3 million. That is $169,000 better than budget and $189,000 better than prior year. In the State Street Aid Fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $183,000. In the Stormwater Fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $70,000. And in our Water and Sewer Fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $587,000. And our second page is the balances in our various bank accounts. In the General Fund, at the end of October, we had approximately $1 million. In the State Street Aid Fund, approximately $1.4 million. Senior Citizens, approximately $59,000. Drug Fund, $24,000. Library Fund, $181,000. In our grants, we had approximately $53,000. In Stormwater, we had approximately $1.9 million. In our capital project streets, highways and streets, we have approximately $3.7 million, and I think about 3.4 of that is for the Water and Road project. In capital projects, Parks and Rec, we have approximately $14,000. In our Police Impact Fund, at the end of October, we had approximately $90,000. And in our Water Sewer Fund, we have approximately $5.8 million, with about 3.2 of that going to Water and Road. And in our Employee Benefits Fund, we have approximately $293,000. On the third page is a comparison to prior year. For General Fund, expenses have exceeded revenues compared to the prior year by approximately $139,000. And in our Water Sewer Fund, revenues this year have exceeded expenses as compared to the prior year by approximately $853,000. Any questions?
Any questions whatsoever?
I just want to mention, I'm going to knock on wood when I say this, so far our general fund is holding its on. We're doing some heavy-duty daily cash management. I'm thinking, and I'm almost pretty sure we will not have to go for a tan, but the next couple of weeks will tell the story. We've been collecting property tax, a little bit along the way, and it's helping out.
Good. Good deal.
Keeping my fingers crossed that we don't have to apply for a tan.
Thank you, Phyllis. Okay, library.
Good evening, Mayor and Aldermen. Last month at the library, we had 8,835 visitors to our library. We checked out more than 9,000 items, and we had almost 3,000 computer users that came into the library throughout the month. As we look forward to the month of December, we've already started our Food for Fines, which began last Thursday, and it will continue on through December the 15th. For every undamaged or unexpired canned or boxed food item, we will waive $1 of fines in overdue books. That's always very popular every year. Many people started right on the first day with their canned goods, so we've been collecting a nice number already. So we're glad that that's such a successful program that we can provide for the needy. This Saturday, we're going to be starting a new program called Books and Beyond Tween Adventure Time. And this program is designed for the tween group between ages 8 and 12. About once or twice a month, we'll be having this program for that age group. And this Saturday, we're going to be showcasing Hawaii. They're going to be going on a Christmas luau. So if any of you would like to come participate, feel free, even though it's for the tweeners. So every month, we'll be doing that with a theme. Usually, they have a theme involved with that. And they will be doing book talks and activities and crafts along with it. The Magic of Santa is always very popular in the library, and I'm sure it will be again this year. That's going to be held on December the 17th at 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, we are going to feature the magic of Bruce Amata, who's a very popular magician that we have several times during the year. He's always comes for our summer reading program, and the boys and girls love him, and we always have a big crowd for that. So he will be there with us at 2 o'clock on Saturday. At 2:30, we will have a very special guest that will be visiting the children at the library. Santa will be coming, and so he will be, the children will be enjoying his company and being able to sit on his lap and tell him all the little goodies that they want for Christmas. And then we will also be serving milk and cookies for everyone that day as well. So we look forward to that and everyone having a great time there as well. The dates that the library will be closed in December will be December 23rd through the 26th, and then again the following week on December 31st and January the 2nd. Any questions?
Any questions? Good job. Thank you. Okay. Water treatment plant.
Good evening, Mayor and Aldermen. Thomas's wife is sick tonight, so I'm filling in for him. For the month of October, we had a really good month. We have processed 98.506 million gallons, and we delivered 97.405 million gallons. The percentages are getting closer because of the reclaiming of the wasted water that normally goes to the lagoon with our PAL unit. We have been able to utilize that a lot more, and that sends a lot less into the sewer, saves us money with Metro. The turbidity was at 98.9%. The filter turbidity was at 100%. The iron was 0.10, manganese at 0.014, and fluoride was at 1.05. The total coliform amount was 1. And the chlorine residual is 1.75. The chemicals that we used, we did 3,146 pounds of sodium hypochlorite, 2,626 of sodium polyphosphate, 1,284 of fluorosilicic acid, which is fluoride, 3,450 of the powered activated carbon, 3,558 of the sodium permanganate, and 3,558 of the 30,061 of the polyaluminum chloride. This did bring our approximate chemical costs down by around $6,000 to $36,708.91. Our maintenance for October was $454.43. We are at approximately half the maintenance budget remaining for the next 3 months during the contract year, which is February 1st through January 31st. We had 4 pressure complaints and 2 taste or odor complaints. We had 4 rain events in October for 0.99 inches of rain. And we did have a couple of things that we wanted to mention as far as good news. Thanks to the combined efforts of operations and distribution, we did receive a 96 on the sanitary survey from TDEC. Additionally, TDEC did nominate us for a Consumer Confidence Reporting Excellence Award. Thomas and I submitted a 40-page application to them last week, and we will hear something about that very soon, but we are up against some big operations. Metro is included, so we are proud to have been nominated, and I do believe we were the only one in Rutherford County. So do you have any questions?
That's awesome. And y'all did receive a pack with that report in your mailbox.
What was the reason for the chemical cost to go down, using less chemicals?
There's really two reasons. One, if you look at 2010's amount of water that we treated compared to 2011, there's just a decreased volume of water. Additionally, we have been working hard to conserve chemicals to save the city money on the chemical costs, because it is by far our largest expense.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Public Works.
Mayor and Aldermen. In the sewer department in November, we saw 99 work orders. That's a decrease of 24 to October. You saw, there's a typo here, I apologize. We actually saw 57.5 overtime hours in November in comparison to October. That's down by about 35 hours. And this is part of our shift model schedule adjustment to the sewer crew that's leading to some, favorable labor variance in terms of overtime spend. Down in the water department, you see 76 work orders. That's a decrease in 43 to the month before. I can attribute that to several things. We spent some time studying and testing in class for certification exams to start the month, and two, I'm not sure if other directors dealt with it, but we dealt with a rash of jury duty for some reason to start the front end of this month. Had a bunch of people out, particularly water crew guys. The water department saw 187.5 overtime hours in the month. That's now flipped to sewer. Sewer used to be a much bigger number. So as we go forward and we fully staff the water department, that's the next direction for us, is to multi-shift and to try to take some of that overtime out of the water crew approach as well. Okay. In the street department, we saw 15 chipper calls, which is a reduction of about half to last month, and chipper pickups, which is down about 60% to last month to 267. We're just making really good headway out there. The brush piles are diminishing and we're running out of work, so to speak, in comparison to months previous. If you go down to fleet department, every number in there is flat to October, so in terms of predictive maintenance, we couldn't have guessed any better than we did. We acted like November would be an October-looking month, and it very much was. The only major difference is that we spent a lot more money on tires and batteries in November, and that tends to happen as the weather goes a little cooler. I'll close with some wins. You won't see this on the screen, but wins in the month for sewer. We scoped out a training facility upgrade on the Public Works grounds. It'll also be a repair center for grinder pump issues. We're paying a lot of money every month, every year in grinder pump repair. And what we're going to do there is to beat back some of that cost by doing some of the manual repair in-house. Instead of sending that pump off and paying the service provider for parts and his labor, we're going to do the labor in-house to continue to get to a better cost. We certified 2 folks. Our supervisor, Jerry Zimlow, started 90 days ago with me, and one of his laborers as well in Collection System 2. So they both passed the state Collection System 2 exams earlier this month, or last month. Wascon, one of our grinder pump providers, came in to perform maintenance training for us. So they're going to help us set up our training center, our repair center, if you will, so that it can act kind of like a manufacturing cell in terms of efficiency. We successfully bid the grinder pumps and recommended Wascon. You guys will vote on that later. We successfully bid the Hurricane Creek Flow Monitoring Project, and you guys will vote on that later. Our camera truck is working well now. We saw about 1 mile of televised sewer line to end last month, and that's just a proactive measure that we're trying to go down that road, while CTI and Dudney Fox are looking at the south side of the interstate in terms of infrastructural upgrade and sewer. We're looking with more in-house means like smoke testing you've heard about, and televising lines with a camera truck in the north end. And we're going to kind of work towards the interstate, towards one another. In streets, winds, we successfully bid the I-24 Walden Road lighting project and recommended Stansel Electric. You'll vote on that later. We also successfully bid the traffic lighting maintenance and recommended S&W contract, and we worked with many times before, and you'll vote on that one later too. We supported the 2011 Christmas parade, and we received, as you know, 100 tons of salt. And we've also rated our spreader trucks, so we're ready for the weather to hit the fan, okay? In water, we certified one laborer with the Distribution 2 license. We repaired 2 water main breaks on Waldron Road, one at the box culvert between Bain and McDonald's, and the other on Waldron Road right in front of Arby's. If you go back a couple pages, don't roll back, Bruce, but we spent 187.5 hours of overtime in the water crew alone in the month. 150 of those were in 2 water main break events, okay? We supported Ivy and Thomas at the water plant pursuing the TDEC award she talked about. And 2, we are very close to sitting down for interviews with 3 candidates for the water supervisor position. We're going to start doing that with Fred and I this week. In fleet, we successfully logged our PD, police department vehicle maintenance histories. We've looked back at 2 years at every vehicle in the fleet. And when time comes for us to start talking about potentially acquiring new vehicles, we'll have a history, a sorted history that Chief Walker can use to make an educated decision on what to buy, what not to buy, what to lease, what not to lease, what to keep, what not to keep, okay? We've moved on to the admin vehicles, and I think we're done with that now. I heard from Gloria, and we're moved on to public works vehicles, so we're well into this logging, and this is alive now. As we log a maintenance item, we add to the spreadsheet so that it's alive for you and up to date. As far as public works in general goes, we established some dress code expectations. The effective date is December 14. We wanted to give some of our folks some time to be able to resize if they needed to into uniforms so that we can be tucking in and shaving faces and that kind of thing and projecting a professional image to our customers. We're all in safety and steel-toe boots. We're all in uniforms, and our cold and wet weather gear has been secured, so we're ready to respond regardless of what the weather throws at us. And that's it.
Any questions?
The only thing on that Mason Road pipe, it's underway. Does it look like it's on schedule?
It definitely does. It definitely does.
45 days probably.
Well, 45 days was the advertisement verbally. It came across as 60-some-odd days, but they're on pace to hit the 45-day target.
Good deal. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Human Resources?
Good evening, Mayor and Board. I want you to know that your warnings are getting through to me. I've been warned about the length of my reports each time, so I want you to know that your people are alive and well. I want to talk about just a few things. Our numbers won't truly reflect year-to-date in every category because we just started last month, but in the current month, previous month, we've had 5 jobs posted, 140 applications. We've had just under 1,000 applications accepted for the year. We've had 2 resignations and 2 terminations during the present month. We've had a total of 48 true turnovers, where we brought someone in, processed them, set them up, paid them, and turned them over. Of that 48, 12 of those were summer help or someone working for the Old Timers Day. Our turnover percent is about 21%. We're about 9% higher than the federal government. Our numbers are more accurate because ours are real numbers and they lag several years behind. And we're probably about 6% behind turnover as a whole. So we're starting to track that of the turnover so that this board will know. We've had some questions about that as of late. About half of those are resignation. Most of those resignations, about 50%, are due to better pay or better jobs, or sometimes personal family things, death of a family member where people have moved away. On the involuntary terminations, about half of those, about 54% of those are due to serious violations of one sort or the other. So overall, we've had a pretty good year. As far as current litigation, we've had none in recent months. Our last charge that we received was probably back during the summer. Of course, we will work those. As far as our employees, we have 306 covered lives. That's employees plus their dependents that the city takes care of. As far as claims, we had 218 dependent claims and 192 employee claims for the month. And those are current for the month. As far as claim dollars, we were down on dependents and up on employees for a total of 203,000. Still, for the year, our numbers are looking really, really good. You'll vote on renewal of the health plan later, and as you know, we're going to be tracking well ahead of a year ago. I'm happy to say that we started the Care Here clinic that initially kicked off on the 2nd. We've had 41 of our employees or their dependents to sign up. That's about 9.5% of those that are eligible, so a lot of people still have to sign up. We're less than a week into that. We've had several appointments and 100% show on ours. I think overall in the clinic this past week we've had one no-show, and that belonged to the town of Smyrna, so that's a good thing for Laverne. So we're really excited about that. I've had a chance to go to the clinic since we last spoke, was in and out, got treated and taken care of, so I'm able to be here on the night. And then last but not least, hopefully we'll get 100% renewal for the renewal of the health plan, and that's all I have.
Your visit to the clinic, you were pretty satisfied with that? I was,
and I was satisfied with the response. They had one technical difficulty. It's in a secure gate, so unless one of you guys called, the gate didn't open up on me, and I know it was opening and working that morning, but before I could get out of my car, somebody from inside the clinic come out, and Jeff Craig, their HR guy, came down and made sure it was working. So, he gave me a hard time about that. But getting in, getting out, the nurse that waited on us, I spent a minute and a half in the waiting room. By the time I sat down, she had me back, and I saw a physician assistant that was able to. I went for a sinus issue, and they. What I was more surprised with is that I expected boom, 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 get in and get out, and for her not to ask, but she did a pretty good job and a pretty quick job of making sure she understood a little bit about my medical history and stuff. So that was a big plus. I'm a fan.
The position of, city administrative
Sure.
post, and when are we going to try to gun for that?
Well, one of the things that what I hope to do is I've had some other challenges and other things going on, is to make sure to review what we did last time and come to you and make recommendations on what we should or should not do. Of course, that's it's up to you as we roll out that search. So I want to make sure that we look at everything. I've spoke to a couple of you individually about what thoughts or concerns that I had. Now I want to make sure I put that on paper and present that. So we think that we'll have those guidelines before the next meeting, and then also one of the things is that probably as much as I wanted to fill it and get everything filled, we probably need to take more time with this next search.
Yeah, it's not going to be next month. We're going to take our time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
After the first of the year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now we have the fun stuff. All right. All right. If I could get Miss Margie Murphy to come up front, please. Come right around up here. I'm going to take this off and so you can hear, or because they can hear you. And if I could get Mr. Richard Quinn to come forward, please. I'll do this real quick. We got to share the microphone. As you know, Miss Murphy is our historian for the city of Laverne and has done an absolutely fabulous job keeping up with everybody, making notations, and she is really leaving us with some very precious memories. And at this time, I think she has something very special to present to Mr. Quinn.
Ricky, this is one of the easiest jobs I've had. I've had a lot of help in all the projects I do. Everyone in the city has helped me in many ways, but they were really happy to help me to take the pictures, tell me who the people were in here, and it's something that I hope that you will enjoy and have. And there'll be a copy of it in the genealogy room in the city library.
Neither one of them run off. Don't run off. Miss Margie is precious to all of us, and this is not much, but we would like to present you with the City of Laverne, Margie Murphy, City Historian. And as you know, it was our first Christmas parade, and how perfect to have Miss Murphy as our Grand Marshal. So thank you for all you do. Thank you. Hey, don't you run off. You keep trying to get away from me. And now we have another very special presentation. I believe it's going to be from Mr. Eller and Julia Hill. No, they can't record. We want it recorded.
I want to say on behalf of Box 100, Fire Department, the Police Department, the City of Laverne, the Rescue Squad, we all worked real hard together to have a successful softball tournament to benefit Ricky and his family, and also a chili dinner. We also, in Box, we support autism because one of our members has an autistic son. And if you know anything about autism, it's real hard to get them to focus on one thing. The day of Trail of Treats, the fire department had special ops up at the park. And Jonathan wasn't worried about collecting candy. We were talking and discussing the softball tournament. I mean, we had already had it. Jonathan took it upon himself to raise money in a fire boot instead of collecting candy. So Jonathan wanted to present this to Ricky by him.
Now that's precious. That's precious. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. Again, another classic example of what we have here in Laverne. Thank you, Jonathan, for everything you do. We appreciate you, okay? Thank you, Julia.
I want to say a big thank you to Sonic, Save a Lot, and I don't have a thank you big enough to Merchandise Liquidators and Billy Eller, because without them we couldn't have done silent auction.
So,
thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Love you. Thank you. Oh, okay.
I just want to thank everybody. I know I still can't talk good, but I want to thank everybody that had anything to do with this. I really appreciate it. I love each and every one of you.
Don't get me to crying. And we've got the whip after him to get back. So now I've got another very special presentation. Unfortunately, our employee of the month had to have emergency surgery. So we'll also ask that you keep her in your prayers. But this young lady, all the beautiful decorations that you see inside of City Hall, the floats that you see with our princesses, she and Tammy Sullivan worked hours getting all this together. Tiffany has a great eye. She can make anything pretty, and she works endless hours. She also did this in a lot of pain during the weekend. And we kept telling her, you've got to go to the emergency room. No, I've got to finish this. I've got to finish this. And finally, she'd like to have waited too late. to go. But fortunately, she is well. I believe she had surgery today and is doing well, and we would like to bring her back and introduce her next month, but we only feel that it's important that we recognize her tonight. And it's the City of Laverne Certificate of Appreciation is hereby granted to Tiffany Taylor, better known to us as Harley, for your dedication and hard work for the City of Laverne. The city hereby recognizes you as the Employee of the Month for December 2011 and thanks you for the excellent work you do for the City of Laverne. And we did want to read this tonight. We will bring her back next month, but you might, if you can, maybe drop her a little get well wish or whatever, because she does work very, very hard for this city. And I think I've got everybody that was going to present. Now I can turn it over to the, oh, Ms. Murphy, you can come back up, and then I'll turn it over to the chief.
When I started this, I thought it would be about 70 pages, and I think I've got like 107. But this is a copy for the city of Laverne administration, and working with all the people in the city, getting pictures and bothering Kathy every day or two, asking her who's here and there. I have had the most fun finding out how busy our city is with all the people that work, and I told them though they couldn't leave anymore until I got the book finished, because I had to, changing pictures, but it'll be, it's for this is for you.
Thank you. Thank
And,
you.
The copy of it will be at the city library for anyone who wishes to see it. It has all the different committees and anything, they talk about autism, it tells you where you can, who you can contact in the county and so forth. And I'll keep mine, all this short.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'll leave this up here so everybody can see it. She's worked very, very hard on this, and so we'll keep it up here so when you come into City Hall, you can view this. All right, Chief.
I've got a handful tonight for various reasons. Part of it is because so much has gone on in the past month around here, and a lot of good work gone on by some folks. But there's one thing that I had never done. I'd never done a unit citation. And for those of you who've been in the military, you understand the importance of those. That's a group of folks who work together and kind of get some things accomplished that you scratch your head at sometimes. But it means that they work very hard together, and I'm going to ask Lieutenant Mark Sloan, Officer Tom McGowan, and Officer Eric Stats to come forward. This is a group of people that wear non-traditional uniforms most of the time. They drive non-traditional vehicles, and they work non-traditional shifts. As a matter of fact, right now, Lieutenant Sloan's working a midnight shift in a zone because they needed help on midnights. But this group, every time you turn around, every day that they work together. They're responsible for making hundreds of arrests of wanted people, sitting in the woods, traipsing through the woods, whatever, sitting for long hours in a vehicle waiting to try to find someone. They've taken people, I hate to use this term, they've taken people down, literally, coming out of windows from home burglaries. They've done an awful lot of things to suppress crime, and when people do commit crimes, to be able to find them and try to take them to jail at least for a while anyway until they can make bond, get out. But the Crime Suppression Unit receives the my first Chief's unit citation, and each of you will get a copy of this, by the way. Lieutenant Mark Sloan, Officer Tom McGowan, and Officer Eric Stats, as members of the LPD's Crime Suppression Unit, your professional law enforcement work has solved many crimes and brought a large number of criminals to justice. The CSU is definitely the Alpha Tango. Congratulations.
proud of you. Thank you.
Cherie, will you come help me with one? And I'm going to ask a former member of the Laverne Police Department, Deputy Brian McNeil, to come up. And I'm going to say this while he's on the way, not because he's my neighbor, but, and not because he's so big, but I've known Brian for a while, and he left Laverne PD and went to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. Our loss, their gain, no doubt. But Brian is currently our school resource officer at Laverne High School. He's done a tremendous job there. I've been around at various events with him. The kids respect him. They don't, well, look at him. They're not going to fuss too much toward him anyway. But Brian kind of stepped beyond what he normally does on a day-in, day-out basis. Officer Cherie Robertson responded on November the 8th to an aggravated burglary at a home. And one thing led to another. Some information was developed. Brian got involved there at school, provided a lot of information, did a lot of legwork, and worked very hard. And as a result of his being there, the information that he could share with us and his cooperation says an awful lot for him. And I meant what I said, Laverne's loss, county's gain. But at least he's still here at the high school, and we can all be thankful for that. But Brian, on November the 8th, 2011, while working as the Laverne High School's SRO, you assisted LPD officers in locating persons involved in an aggravated burglary. Your assistance led to 3 arrests and the recovery of property, but more importantly, demonstrates the results of excellent law enforcement cooperation. And on behalf of the Laverne PD, I award you this Chief's Award of Excellence and say thank you.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate it.
You want to stay?
Yeah, I think I'll do it.
No, I mean stay. Thank you, Officer Robinson. Appreciate it.
As you know, I began a couple of things. One of them was the non-sworn employee of the month and also the sworn employee of the month. And the non-sworn employee of the month for November is someone who really works hard. She's very quiet, minds her own business usually. She'll stand and peek in my door and say, "Have you got just a minute?" And most of the time it's get a signature, but sometimes it's about another problem with that antiquated cat we have. Bless her heart, she worked on the phone with them for over a week trying to get some things fixed on it, and she worked very hard for me on a project I was doing for a citizen who had asked for some crime data. And because of what we have, it took almost an act of Congress to get it done. But this month, Andrea White, if you'll come forward. Andrea is our dispatch TAC, which means she handles all the training and paperwork, et cetera, with TBI for our sharing of data, et cetera. But Andrea, you are hereby selected as a non-sworn employee of the month for November 2011 as a result of your hard work and attention to detail and accuracy. Your dispatch skills, knowledge of the current CAD, and your work as TAC are exceptional. Your dedication and attention to detail are traits every employee should strive to attain. And I award this to you, the non-sworn employee of the month, which also comes with your special parking place there behind the building beside the door.
Thank you, Andrea, for all you do. We got
We got one more.
One more.
Now I'm going to ask Officer Robertson to come back up a minute. That event I told you about on November the 8th, when I finally went home that night very late, it was, I believe, about 9 o'clock when I got home, and it was sometime after that that Cherie finally checked out of service. But she had responded to that call, I believe, about 12:38, and one thing led to another. She continued working. She had a lot of help. Don't get me wrong, she had a lot of help from CID and from other officers. I think CSU was involved in part of that, Brian's help, but Cherie continued and continued and continued working. And as a result of that, I award to you, Cherie, the Chief's Award of Excellence. And on November the 8th, 2011, you responded to an aggravated burglary on Nixon Way. Your aggressive and tireless efforts in the investigation led to the arrest of 1 adult and 2 juveniles and the recovery of several thousands of dollars of stolen property and narcotics, it says, but dope. They traded part of the property before we got to them and found anything for dope, but at least we got their dope. So, Cherie, congratulations. Wait a minute. And for the month of November, you get your personal parking place for a month too, because as a result of your aggressive and tireless efforts in the investigation of an aggravated burglary on November the 8th, 2011, that led to the arrest of 1 adult and 2 juveniles in the recovery of several thousands of dollars of stolen property and narcotics, you were selected as the Officer of the Month for November 2011. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. That's the fun part. Thanks to everybody. All right, guys, we got to get down to business. All right. Let's move right into old business. We have second reading, ordinance 2011-30, an ordinance to amend Title 3, Chapter 3 of the Laverne Municipal Code by adding a new section 3-311 relating to the employment of collection agencies to collect municipal fines and costs.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Motion carries. We'll move into our consent agenda items. We went over all of these in great detail, and fortunately now we are televising our workshops, so all that discussion was televised, and I think they continue to run it until tonight's meeting. So I need a motion to approve or to deny the consent agenda items.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, first reading, ordinance 2011-31, an ordinance to amend the general fund capital plan by removing the warning system.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. We'll do a roll call. Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron?
Aye.
Vice Mayor?
Aye.
Alderman Green? Aye. And I vote aye. Motion carries. Number 7, first reading ordinance 2011-32, an ordinance to amend Title 1 of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding the duties of the mayor and the duties of the city administrator. This is an ordinance we will be removing at this time the duties of the hiring and firing powers from the city administrator.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any discussion?
Is this temporary or what?
We're just going to wait until we get all see how long it takes us to get the administrator, get that new administrator in position, and then let them sit down and decide how they want to carry that out. Any more discussion? We'll do a roll call. Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron?
Aye.
Vice Mayor?
Aye.
Alderman Green? Aye. Bless her heart. And I vote aye. Motion carries. And while we're on this, if I may, what I would like for each of us to do in the city administrator end, I would like for us to do maybe a checklist, just on your own, what you would like to see in a city administrator. Give those to Fred. And also, I would like for the directors of each department to play a big part. And also, what we're looking into as far as the city administrator. And all those, any things you have, just please give them to Fred. And hopefully we can make up a list, have a good discussion on what we expect, and then go from there. Number 8, motion to approve health plan renewals.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Motion to televise Board of Mayor and Alderman workshops.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any discussion? I do think this has been very well received. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Motion carries. All right. On number 10, I need a motion regarding the invoice for the hazmat cleanup regarding our meth lab. And Bruce, you and Evan, help me on this one. What we're wanting to do in this motion is give you the authority to seek out what we can do legally regarding the payment of this.
Do you want to, does the board want to authorize me, once we figure out what the best course of action is, do you want to authorize me to go ahead and take it, or do you want me to bring the option back to y'all next month?
I want to make an offer.
I say go on
For
and
you to
take
do
it.
it.
We've got to set precedents with this.
Okay. Then I think an appropriate motion would be to authorize the city attorney to take such action as he deems necessary to collect the money owed on this house.
And I'll make that motion, what he just said.
And I'll second what they both said.
And then I had a second, so we will open this up for discussion. Anybody have any discussion?
I've been
Um,
buying seeing it.
Mhm.
They've cleaned the house up, they've remodeled it, yet they don't have the money to take care of what it cost us for this.
The cleanup. And we're going to be facing this, I'm afraid, sadly, more and more. And I think we need to put a stop to this immediately, and by doing so, I think this will set precedents. We will do a roll call. Alderman Green. Aye. Vice Mayor.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron.
Aye.
Alderman Broker.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. All right, we're down to Mayor and Alderman comments. We'll start with you, Alderman Green.
Okay. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and I hope everybody's safe, and whatever you do, take care of someone that's needy if you possibly can, because there's so many children and even adults that are hurting this time of the year especially. So just be safe, be good, and take care of anyone that you can help.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
I want to tell everybody Merry Christmas and thank everybody that worked so hard for the parade. It was great.
They did a great job. Alderman Waldron?
Want to congratulate Miss Murphy. I think she might have went on home, but she has been a wonderful person in the city for a long time.
Absolutely.
She was on the Historic Preservation Committee for a few years, and she was a strong member of that. And we miss her on that board. And I want to thank all the people that donated stuff and time for the Ricky Gwynn chili cook-off, donated the silent auction. Everybody done a good job. And remember the country ham breakfast this Saturday at the rescue building right behind the Civic Auditorium. And keep Miss Carrie Smith in our prayers. She's in the nursing home. She fell and broke her back, and she's in recovery, but she is walking with a walker. And I hope she continues to get well and get better, and just give everybody a happy holidays and be safe. And tomorrow is the 70th anniversary of the Japanese attack Pearl Harbor. And remember that. And I think Miss Green, I think your husband was there that day.
I don't think he was there, but he was in the military.
And just wish everybody a happy holidays. That's it.
Thank you. Again, all employees, all departments. The Christmas parade was fabulous. Y'all outdid yourself. Thank you.
It's all right.
Well, he's the quiet one. He never says anything.
That's all right.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure you're going
Alderman
to say the
Brooks.
same thing, so.
I was trying to beat you to the punch.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead. I apologize.
That's fine. Again, thank everyone for coming out. I think it was just absolutely great Saturday, as Jeff has said, and everyone up here has said. And I want to take time to thank Parks and Rec. About a year ago, we put 3 new programs or things for the city into play, and as usual, they went above and beyond, and really did a great job with the 4th of July Old Timers Festival and then the parade. So, Jeff, I know you just came on about the Old Timers Festival, but you know you got a remarkable department, and I just want to thank you for that. I do also want to ask everyone to keep the Gore family in their prayers. They had a loss this week, and also again, everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, be safe, and Happy Holidays.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What he said. I tried to beat him to it. But it was great. Thanks to everyone. We've had a really good year. I appreciate everything that every one of you've done. I do hope that you and your families all have a very, very Merry Christmas. I also want to say a little special congratulations to my daughter, Janae Mosley, who will be graduating from MTSU December the 17th. So that was 4 years. She worked very hard, and say a little congratulations to her and embarrass her on TV. So that's the fun part. Ricky, glad to see you out and about. You're looking good. And I want to thank everybody. Remember, our doors are always open. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, we're all here to serve and work for this city, and we're very happy to do so. And I'm going to call this meeting adjourned.